All right, folks, we're back. Thank you for watching the commercial break. And yeah, confirmed at this point, we're going to do Leenock versus TAiLS on the Korea server. So we're swapping over now. It is worth noting, Zombie feeling a little bit sick, so she might take off after this series. I don't want her to get all worn out like the first day she's back. So hopefully you'll feel okay. But if you don't feel bad about leaving. Thank you, by the way, to anyone who may have resubbed. Twitch Alert seems to have stopped updating because I know I saw a resub in chat, but it's not giving me new notifications. So I'm assuming that's broken. Don't actually know for sure. But yeah, we're going to be getting into game number 1 of the semifinals here shortly. So once again, thank you guys for watching today. I said I'd talk about it when we had some more downtime. So as we set this series up, if you guys missed the big announcement at the start of the stream, Artanis, you're so loud. It's such a cool intro. I remember the first time we saw that, we were like freaking out, like, what the fuck? This looks amazing. But yeah, for those who missed it, Twitch is going to be picking up and partnering with us for the Corsair Cups going into 2017. So Twitch has also opted to pick up the Make Korea Great Again tournament. That format's going to be changing a little bit. We'll announce that more when time comes. But Twitch, the Corsair Cup is now going to be powered by Twitch going forward. So what this is going to do is put more prize money in for the players, is going to create a bigger monthly finals, allowing us to have some league points tracking with it too. So there'll be 3 weeklies, which are the exact same as they're doing right now. Nothing changing. The prize money's still the same, but the monthly finals is going to be worth $400, and that one's going to be invite only based on performance and points from the previous week. So again, big super shoutouts and my excitement to work with Twitch as we make more content and better StarCraft content.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Default overlay, Zombie Grub?
Why? Stupid patch, man.
All right, well, we are in game number 1 of the semifinals. We got Korean versus Korean action going on in the bottom right side of the map. We got the red Zerg player, Leenock.
In the top left, as the blue Protoss, he is TAiLS.
Yo, so even if TAiLS dies here miserably, I just want to point out, TAiLS has actually been looking freaking good lately. This is one of those guys who was, at best, like a C-lister Korean player, in my opinion. And he's been playing so long in so many cups, I just kind of was like, why? What's going on with this poor guy? He hasn't improved in 3 years. But beating some pretty notable Protoss players in PvP recently, his PvZ's improving too. I'm actually really glad we're finally seeing some improvement out of TAiLS. Maybe it was the recent patch changes or the tweaks. I don't know, but TAiLS has been looking good enough to say, I think he could take the series from Leenock given the right circumstances.
Yeah, I think that's well put. Oh, new sub. Thank you to Quip for New Zealand NZ.
I always assume it's just New Zealand at this point.
Yeah, exactly, for the Twitch Prime sub. But yeah, I agree. Like, TAiLS was not looking very good. It was almost like, well, I guess we have to cast TAiLS against someone that we are looking forward to casting, and we just gave him, I mean, a lot of shit they could, on the cast or anything, but it was just kind of like, I guess so.
Like, we know how this is going to go. Yeah, you just roll your eyes.
Exactly. We knew exactly how it was going to go, and it wasn't that we were wrong. We weren't wrong for a very long time, and then suddenly he decided to have some very good PvP, and now he's actually had, improved on his other matchups too, that it's like, okay, yeah, this is now a Korean that's playing an online tournament. It's not, I mean, I guess, like, him and Keen are probably similar right at this moment in time, but of course Keen has been better for longer. But yeah, I would consider him kind of that contender to beat people, given the right day. Unfortunately, I do still think that TAiLS has days where he just goes back to year ago TAiLS and looks absolutely terrible. So
I think all players can have that once in a while, though. So that for me is just kind of like, it's scary because TAiLS is making the improvements, but it's also like, yeah, we've seen even better players than TAiLS also backslide once in a while and just play like really bad sets.
I guess. I think that TAiLS really does like recede, though. I want to say that it's sometimes because it looks like it's a Protoss issue, and it is to say. He'll go for like an all-in and be scouted and just be instantly denied, and you're like, well, I guess that happens, right? Yeah. Which seems to happen the most when it comes to Protoss, but yeah, he'll do that occasionally.
Well, I do want to point out, TAiLS is also somebody who's not at all afraid to go air. We just saw it happen on Echo versus Nurchio. It's also a very common map for it, but no Stargate opener. That's why that Kyonzo gets slapped down.
All right.
By the way, thank you to Rude Boy for the Twitch Prime sub. Good to see you. Good to have you. There's so much I want to talk about, though. Like, fucking Nathanius, get out of chat. You bring up so many good points that I want to address on stream. But The one thing I want to just like nail in here for this is, first off, it's really cool that Twitch is picking up to help with some cool stuff, and we have even bigger and more announcements coming for 2017, if you guys can believe it. But for those who don't know, oh, was I playing on Europe? Why is my mouse sliding? Oh, I was playing on Korea. We're in Korea now. That's right. Excuse me. For those who don't know, by the way, like this is a little bit of a fun fact, but I think everybody should know this at this point. Twitch TV, I'm not saying it was solely made because of StarCraft, but it was pretty heavily influenced by StarCraft. When Justin TV was around, that's when esports was starting to pick up and people were trying to broadcast it. So everyone who's been working at Twitch for long enough, they all know that this started with StarCraft. They all got StarCraft like in their roots and in their blood. So it's not surprising to see them want to support it. And I'm really glad that they are too, because Twitch are the people you want to have supporting your stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of good points in chat right now, but it's a whole other discussion. Not even about this game. And in this game, we do have Leenock going for an Overlord drop. We do have TAiLS going for a Dark Shrine build, what has been a lot more normal recently. So this is also going to be scouted here. It's a little unfortunate, because while sometimes it's a given and you don't even care about being scouted, he did kind of want to hide it, I think.
Well, the Lings might not be slaughtering the probes, but getting that scouting confirmation on the Dark Shrine was pretty darn nice. Plus, he keeps a lot of them alive. They might just come back in for round 2 in a moment. Back at home, though, for Leenock, Spore Crawlers come down. All right, that's step 1 of detection, but that layer is going to be far more important. Too many times we're watching players just bust through the Spore Crawlers and knock them down. And perhaps a little bit worried about the DTs getting scouted. No, okay, he's still going to go for them.
All right. I do prefer Protosses who try the DT thing first. You know, there's still a couple of games, even amongst the best Zergs, they did not have a Spore Crawler.
Oh, I love that control. The Lings go down.
Natural, or they don't have enough defenses, even with detection available, like what is happening here a little bit. There's some good micro on both sides, but I do like that TAiLS tried that first and now more for Archons.
Yeah. This is going to come back and do a bit of damage. With all the Lings have been washed away, there's less and less to catch them, but of course, still, with things like Spines and Spores, we saw Leenock doing this before with the Spine Crawlers, it's when the Archons drop, they're going to be auto-attacking that, not auto-attacking the drones, which is nice.
Looks like the Archons are going to be able to get that kid. Almost, but not quite.
Of course, you can do some awesome drag and drop micro. And because this is worth noting, normally we're used to seeing these guys play in the European server. There is a considerable amount of delay. You'll notice it with their Archon pickup micro too. But the fact that they're both on Korea, this is like optimal situation for TAiLS to do something fancy and impress us.
Well, his follow-up is a lot more interesting than his micro for me right now. Which, yeah, right. I mean, it can showcase good micro, but the follow-up's always kind of the question for the Zerg players as well. A Dark Shrine opener, okay, you deal with it ideally without taking any damage whatsoever. But the thing about it is that whether you take direct damage or not, some players don't react perfectly. They make too many units and over-defend the Archons, and then they'll have enough economy later on if it is that 2-base follow-up all-in, which is going to be. TAiLS is going not even for the Stalker version either, but for the Adept version on 2 bases and a couple of Immortals. Does Leenock have enough production to hold on to this? I want to say yeah. I mean, he's already got this good army, but he's also got decent enough drones at 56 to continue making a much bigger army, actually. Getting Queens, too, to help focus fire probably the Prism a little bit. We can transfuse is going to never be bad, and
I mean, it's
a tough army, but it's a big one for Leenock, too.
Right, but I think what's so scary here is Leenock's going to be force-fielded in. The Immortals deal so much damage against the Roaches. If he gets good Corrosive Biles, this might shift heavily in his favor, but the Archons and the Immortals bring so much power to the fight. Even trade so far to start, but this looks so much better for TAiLS.
Dang, if he had the War Prism, I could actually see him winning this, but without the reinforcements, I think that their Corrosive Biles might eventually just do too much damage.
But he's doing a great job dodging, though. He's taking very little to no Corrosive Bile damage as he continues to push in. There's only 13 Roaches coming out. Those Roaches are going to get busted apart by the Immortals, by the Archons. But you're right, without the immediate reinforcements, without the consistent Adepts coming in, without that extra buffer, I'm wondering if TAiLS is going to slowly bleed this army out. I think he knows the importance of getting something out on that front line, though. New War Prism on the way. He's still dancing and diving, and he even keeps the Sentry alive just a little bit longer to put down that force field, to push back those Roaches. But the Immortals are now left without anything left to defend against this, and this damage was certainly good from TAiLS, but his army ends up completely gone for it.
I wonder why. Yeah, he loses a very important army. It's too, of course, the Immortals and the Sentries. He did warp in back at home, and it might seem completely useless to get those across the map. or just not use a good use of the micro to do that.
I think
Though we've actually seen a couple of games where that last second Adept's run back from the main was enough to tip the scales, but I guess he just want to wait for the Warp Prism. I think that might be too much time gone, though.
My concern is, like, if he had actually sent them across the map, maybe they get surrounded by Lings. Maybe the Roaches intercept. Might have been a little bit of a concern, too. I don't know. Either way, lots of Adepts are pretty desperate at this point. The army supply so very heavily favors Leenock at this stage, and this is going to be TAiLS' last big attempt at a fight, and I don't know if it's going to work out for him.
What a bold move there.
Transfuse is keeping everything alive, too. By the way, love seeing the Queens get into the action, get into the fight. Adepts coming to the high ground, but this has been easily dealt with, and Leenock has defended once again.
Yeah. The Lings have +1, almost have +2, so they're absolutely ripping apart those Adepts. GG. I think you're right about, he's afraid that Lings are on the way, because I was going to bring up, before other things happened, I was so surprised with the lack of Lings Leenock was getting. He upgraded them, yet he was only relying on those Roaches and Ravagers. But I think if TAiLS had immediately set those Adepts across the map when he warped them in, because it was like immediately, they might have been able to help snowball against those Ravagers and then, against the Lings after that, but... oh well.
Either way, I gotta say that was still a really great game out of TAiLS. I thought for certain, again, I definitely give Leenock favorites, like big favoritism coming into this, and I was not at all surprised that Leenock won that first game. But the scrappiness out of TAiLS, the fact that he didn't choose to go down that dirty like Stargate tech, big ups to him. We'll see what his map choice is for the next map. I'm going to respond to Twitter on this, but I'm also going to bring this up too. Billy Goat apparently is tweeting at me. He says, I bought 2 pairs of the slippers through the Etchy Boy website, but the counter didn't move up though. For those who don't know, the Etchy Boy website is actually all done by hand. There's no automation for it, so when the payment goes through, the guy who runs the site will go and update it himself type thing. Later, there we go. Also, oh, we're at the lobby up. Never mind. I'll save that for now. What map do we have?
I go Overgrowth.
Cool. Oh,
yep.
One small thing I can talk about though, while we get the lobby up instead of something big that I was going to talk about, is we do have the TING Season 3 qualifiers pretty much all locked down. I've been waiting and waiting for the graphics to post all this stuff, but their guy, I guess, is out till New Year's, and I don't like putting it off because I want at least people to know when the qualifiers are so they can sign up and make sure that they're there and all that. So I'm thinking about just posting the information and then we'll pretty up the thread later or something.
Yeah, okay.
Because this is turning into like our fundraiser. We keep putting it off, and I want to just like get it out there so we can get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
By the way, actually, no, let's just do the intros. Spawning here in the bottom left side, we've got the red Zerg player. It's Leenock, and he currently leads 1-0.
In the top right says the blue Protoss. He's TAiLS.
Of course, this is the semifinals of the Corsair Cup. Now, Zomgra mentioned before she's feeling a little bit sick, so she may take off after this series. Because of this, guys, I've told Nurchio whenever him and Healer are ready to play, they can start without us if they'd like. If they want to wait for us to cast, I would love to wait for them to cast, but let them just get that out of the way quicker if possible. By the way, Leenock doing what he did earlier on Overgrowth. Maybe this is just a map-dependent strategy for him?
Yeah, I guess he likes it here. I was going to say the Healer versus Nurchio series would have been kind of fun to cast, but... yeah, I just feel overall bad.
You've done like 27 something hours of traveling. You've come home to a different time zone. Like,
I guess I mentioned it maybe on Twitter, but since I wasn't on Wi-Fi, I actually don't remember. I had to go to Casablanca, which
the movie?
I knew it was a real place. Like I know. Like,
oh, I thought you meant like you saw the movie. It's like what?
No, the real place. Like I knew it was a real place, but I figured it was actually just kind of like lost in time kind of deal. Like it wouldn't be this huge airport, but it is. So I had to go to Casablanca first, which had no Wi-Fi, no bathrooms, because you had to go through security twice. Once again after the transfer, and once right before the terminal. So I couldn't go to the bathroom.
Was the airport in black and white too? Because it sounds like it's still in the 60s or whatever.
Yeah, right? Oh my god, I had to go to the bathroom, and then I ended up getting the window seat next to this really old woman.
Not gonna see. Sorry.
That was close. Well, I think he still knows what's happening because he's getting a forge, but TLDR, I had a terrible time because I was in the aisle seat, or not in the aisle seat. I fucking hate the window seat.
I'm sorry to hear
thank
that.
you to CTK for CTK797 for the Twitch Prime sub as well. We get things started here.
Yeah, Spine's going down. Now, you pointed out, yeah, he's getting a Forge. And the reason this becomes really different and really important is this stops the push of the Spine Crawlers. Not because like you're fighting cannons versus Spine Crawlers, but the cannons typically keep the creep back. You know, it's not really a lot of ways to do detection early on. And I think if Leenock can't move that creep forward, then he's not going to move the Spines forward. You know, there's those limitations for you, but for TAiLS, this is still a tale all too old. We've seen this on Overgrowth back in the days of HOTS, except there'd be the gold base taken, and you'd crawl forward, and it'd still be the same sort of dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. We've been seeing this for a very long time. I mean, this was the thing 2 years ago, so it really is quite an old gimmick here. And Leenock was, of course, one of those guys who do it too. So I'm really glad that TAiLS scouted. That was something that certainly Goblin missed the first time. I thought I said a pro about, and then I kept checking, and you know he didn't. But he scouted the natural. He knew something was going to be up, where there was a gold base taken, which is another thing you could do as a Zerg player, or the proxy hatchery. Obviously, it was a proxy hatchery, and it's just going to be about buying time until he can get that gateway production. But as I say that, he actually did not rebuild his Explorer in a safe location, so he's not getting that.
That was so loud. Thank you, Rurikar. We'll get to that in a second. As we watch the destruction begin. Now this is Leenock again. Like he lifts up, he goes to the main, he tries to get past the wall that he's already broken down. But there's no cannons over here. All the cannons are in the natural. TAiLS was looking to hold his like ground down here. Unfortunately, he's going to lose the main because of it, and that's probably going to be the series.
TAiLS has had a lot of practice against this when it came to Heart of the Swarm, but didn't watch the Goblin game obviously, and definitely forgot about the Legacy of the Void trick that Overlord dropped. I forgot about it too. I mean, just saw it, so.
No, we forgot about it. Red Bull too, man. It's something we keep forgetting about. It's our weakness, but this is all kinds of nasty. Now the Immortal comes out. He starts pushing this back. I love the moves TAiLS was taking, but unfortunately, with the main being compromised, none of that stuff at the front gate matters. We got Queens coming down here too, because they can reach over the force fields, they can reach into that center, they can transfuse one another while they soak hits and tank the damage. Picks up one of the Queens too, a little bit of micro action going on as he tries to keep him alive. Leenock!
Oh, your Queen micro.
I mean,
trying to be true here, am I right?
You don't see that happen too often. Mothership core goes down to this too. Probes are gone, down to 5 workers. The Immortal trying to keep it itself alive. Cannon's gonna help out a little bit, but this is already too much damage done. And we are gonna see Leenock go through to those finals.
Well,
those transfuses!
Goblin took a game off Leenock, which might have looked a little bit weak. Obviously, Leenock is not actually out of form. GG!
That actually says more about Goblin, I think, too. Like, to see that a Korean who's doing well can't take a game off of Leenock, but a foreigner can. What's up?
There you go.
All right, so we'll go back to the other server. If we can catch game 2 or something of Nurchio, we certainly will, guys. But Rurikar donated $100 during that game. Says Merry Christmas / Happy Boxing Day, fam. Thanks for another year of great StarCraft 2. Always appreciate you both. Please split this betwixt you guys. Well, sir, normally we would, but I have to actually decline that request because we are, if you haven't seen, doing a really big mega fundraiser, and all money we're currently raising is going to be, all money we earn on Twitch, all money we get through Twitch donations, that's going to be funneled towards the fundraiser. If you guys haven't seen the fundraiser, type the !mega command in chat. But before you disappear, I'm going to play that video actually just for the stream so everyone can watch it at least once. So let me get this screen captured. Oop. Because this is us giving the TLDR of like what's up with this tournament. All right, so there's the preview for those who haven't taken the time to see the website. At least now you know what's going on. You're aware of like what we're trying to do with it. So people like Rurikar and others, we thank you kindly. Your generosity is certainly appreciated, and we're going to be putting that towards trying to make this tournament happen. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That being said, just because this also gets asked quite a bit over the last couple of days, Zombie Urb and I are still, we still have to find a way to get by. We still have to find a way to live and buy food and whatnot. So ad revenue and bits are still what we're going to take from the channel for ourselves. So if you guys really, 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 really want to help push that certain direction, that's how you do it. Other than that, though, we are going to go to a break. Before we go, though, I think you're leaving, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sad face.
Feeling pretty bad, but I guess I'll do my shout-outs and stuff before we go to break. Yeah, Yeah, sorry to leave the stream, especially after coming back for such a long time and not casting for a little while after this too. But I should be streaming whenever I have free time between like visiting friends and family before I go back to Paris on the 1st. I am still continuing to do Nation Wars until the very end, which is awesome. I'm so glad I have opportunity. But I'm also casting on base trade as normally as possible, but obviously with, you know, breaks here and there. So continue to follow me on Twitter at DG Gaming, on Twitch, ZombieGrub, and on YouTube at ZombieGrub2.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to have you back. I'm certainly excited for you to feel better. So go rest up, and I'll talk to you. Are you gonna be around later tonight? Because I gotta talk to you about some stuff too, anyways.
Later tonight. You
Yep.
know, yeah.
Go nap and do your things. Feel better. Take care, ZombieGrub, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
All right, guys, we're gonna hop into the series of Nurture and Healer. Give me a sec, commercials, and we'll see you soon.